Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below before you go. In today's video, as you guys can tell from the title, it is going to be a 33-week bump update. Also slash like a what's been going on in the last handful of weeks since we are nearing the end of this pregnancy. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too much for the intro. Let's just get right into it. First of all, I also want to say again, sorry for the background. This is the baby's crib with mattress and all of their stuff in it, which has progressively gotten worse since the last video, but it's all stuff that needs to be taken care of within the next handful of days. So, sorry about that. The first main point I want to talk about for this video is if you saw this video, then you would know that I was having preterm labor symptoms. Those really haven't gone away. I'm still having contractions, like quite a lot of them, but they're still inconsistent. So because they're inconsistent, they told me not to worry, but it's a little hard because of everything that happened back in 2018. So it's a little hard not to worry because it feels like that's something I should worry about, like having contractions. But I guess with them being inconsistent, it means that labor is like nowhere around. That's what they told me. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm trying to relax on. They told me last time I went to the hospital that my cervix was closed and that I wasn't dilated and that it was, you know, everything looked like it should for 30, I think it was 31 weeks. But Dante keeps trying to convince me to go to the hospital when I have contractions because he wants me to get checked out. But I don't want to waste my time there. So let me know if you guys have ever experienced contractions that were inconsistent and like still went into labor like shortly after, because she told me as long as they were inconsistent I should be fine. But other thing that concerns me about having the contractions is I've been having a ton of pelvic pressure, like a stupid amount of pelvic pressure. It literally feels like he's sitting on top of my cervix trying to come out. And I've also been getting like really bad hip pain because of it, which is like so fun. I love third trimester of pregnancy. But yeah, so like even if I'm just like lying in bed, it doesn't matter. I could be like lying on either side. I could like not even be touching this side. Yesterday I was sitting on the couch, and if I move my leg and like even just a little bit, I had like a shooting sense of pain in my side. So that's not been fun. The biggest cravings I've had the last like week or two would be ice caps and strawberries. I literally made Dante get a pie just because it had strawberries on it that I wanted. So that's been fun. I never really had a whole lot of cravings with Jackson, and the only thing I really craved with Levi was McDonald's, like Big Macs. So this has been a totally different experience, like actually craving like sweet things. I'm not a sweet person, like if you know me, like it's like salty snacks and like all that kind of stuff. So it's been weird wanting the sweet stuff. Dante's the one with the sweet tooth. Baby's nursery is almost done, which means a nursery reveal will be here. I know it doesn't look done, but I swear it's almost done. The crib set up, we have like the change table and everything. We're just waiting for the TV to get mounted where we want it so that we can finish up the room. And then I have a couple like decals and stuff that I want to make for behind the crib, and then we'll have a nursery reveal. I mean, nursery spot reveal, I guess, because we are putting his crib in our room. It just makes more sense. It's just easier that way. I am starting to have a lot of anxiety that I'm not going to make it to my scheduled induction date. And that would be because of, like I said, the contractions earlier and the pelvic pressure, and like just like baby's already dropped, and there's just like, you know, he's been head down for a handful of weeks, and the fact that I thought that I could be in preterm labor, like there's just so many things that contribute to me like thinking that maybe I won't hit my induction date, which is scary because after like 2018 and everything with Levi, I get really scared to go into labor naturally. Like with Jackson, I was supposed to be induced on a whatever day, and he checked me like 4 days before my like scheduled induction, and I got 1 centimeter, sent me to the hospital to be induced because Jackson was measuring small, and I was a 3 within an hour. So like it makes me very nervous. I didn't think Jackson was gonna make it to my induction day, but only by like a handful of days. And this baby is really making me think I'm not gonna hit my induction day, which scares the crap out of me. I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful we'll be able to make it to the induction day, but it's just not looking good. Speaking of our induction day, my OB told me at the beginning of this pregnancy that I wasn't going to be getting as many ultrasound scans as I had with Jackson. For those of you who don't know, from like the last like 32 weeks, I think, 30 weeks, something like that, I had scans every week to make sure that he was growing properly, and just because I hadn't had a live birth and then everything with Levi and I was high risk and the whole 9 yards, I was told that this pregnancy wasn't going to be like that since I've had a live birth. I was going to have more scans, but I wasn't going to have as many, and then probably like none in the 3rd trimester. Since baby boy's head was measuring small, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a video here for it. Since his head was measuring small, he has now decided that we do want to do more ultrasounds. Now, like, I'm not sure because like his head's no longer measuring small. However, the last 3 ultrasounds I went to, they asked me if the last 3 ultrasounds that I had, they told me my due date was like a week behind what it like is. So like I'm due on Halloween. I'm due Halloween, and they told me that my due date was measuring around like the 6th, the 7th of November for like the size of the baby. I asked my OB about it because I wanted to know if they changed my due date, and just like didn't tell me. And he told me that he did not change my due date, that he thinks the baby's just measuring smaller, which is exactly what happened with Jackson. Which means if he's gonna do it the same way he did with Jackson in that sense, my induction date could actually be earlier than what he told me he's already planning on inducing me at. Which means I really gotta get this stuff done. So I've been in like full nesting mode for the last like 4 days. I do have an ultrasound booked for October 2nd. I will be 36 weeks that week, which means afterwards, like my next appointment after that, I could be getting the results on if I'm going to have an earlier induction, which is like so crazy to me because that's like 3 weeks away. That's only like, yeah, because I'm like 33 weeks in like 2 days or something like that. Like, so like a little under 3 weeks, and I could be having like that's insane to me. Alright, so I forgot to mention it before I moved you guys the camera for the bump shot, but I'm also going to include a 33-week bump shot. So this is what my 33-week bump looks like. That is pretty much it for this 33-week bump update. If you guys have any extra questions, make sure you leave them in the comments and I will answer them for you. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much, and I will see you in our next video tomorrow. Bye, guys.